Hello, welcome fellow simmers, beardies and baldies. Today was a day that was always going to happen. It was always on the cards, but it's happened sooner rather than later. Not the cat. The Next Level Racing Motion Platform V3. Obviously, as soon as I got a box, the cat has to be on it. I'm the Raging Beard, that's the Raging Cat. Today I'm going to be opening this up and fitting it onto the P1 cockpit behind me. When I bought the P1, I always knew this was going to be added sooner rather than later, so at the time of buying it, I inquired if obviously that would fit. Apparently it will, and I bought well, I was given this sort of pack of stuff that is apparently all I need to fit that into that. This was provided by Sim Labs when I bought the rig. Excuse the camera angle, there's not a lot I can do, it's not a big room. I don't know what the audio's like, the usual microphone's on the rig, it's a faff to get it off, so I'm using something else. So basically, going to get it open, have a look at it, and get it on the rig. And while I'm doing all that and getting the seat off, I'm going to do a bit of cable tidying, rerouting stuff. You may notice I've got a second screen on here. This is purely for desktop stuff, like while I've got whatever going on the main screen, instead of craning my neck round to look over on my desk, just got that. So I want to tidy up where the cables go. I've got another power lead, another multi-plug, so I'm going to sort all that out. But get this on, show how it fits, if it fits, and set it up and go from there. So let's get cracking. So the reason this has happened earlier than expected was generally this thing costs about, you can pick it up for about 2-3. I just happened to be looking around online and I found it a random little computer shop, Central Computers, ship with next day delivery for 1984. That's everything, VAT, shipping, 1984. So I thought, said 13 in stock, so I thought, well, at that price, you know, let's just do it now. It's always going to happen. The chance of seeing it at that price again, it's not likely. Right, there's a box for you, bud. Right. Okay. I mean, this obviously it's pretty damn heavy, but $7.99 the next day delivery. Crazy, man, how heavy this is. Right. Done with that here. There you go. Go there for you. I know this is going to be probably well into the night job, isn't it? They always are. There we go. So I'm trying to repackage this. Manual. Okay. Side plates. Butt kicker mount. Sooner or later that'll happen. This row will be sooner. about the cat. Okay, it's a hefty, it's nice. GT Ultimate, hefty bit of metal here. I like the way they've done the cut out with the name and obviously the plastic. Actually metal attached. Nice. So we've got two of them, butt kicker mount, plethora of cables, little manual, and the main event. What a nice bit of kit. It's just a really nice bit of kit. Yeah, that's serious, man. I so hope the bits I've got will fit this. I mean, how gutted will I be if I can't use it tonight? Well, let's be honest, the early hours of the morning. Okay. Bend with the knees. So, first off, seat off. Important note, nearly forgot, before I take the seat off and install that, in all likelihood that's going to change the height of this, and I've got everything set up just how I like it. So I need to measure how high the seat is, some reference point, see how much it raises by, so I can do the same with the steering wheel mount. Pedals might not need it, but I could do some adjustment there if it's noticeable. But I really like the setup I've got, so I want to keep it the same. Likewise, distance, make sure I've got it the same distance between this and the wheel. So some reference point there. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Tape measurements and cats. Right. Tell you what, it doesn't matter if it's not straight as long as it's the same both times. So I'm just going to hook that under there and pull it up and measure to the sparko line. Right in the middle of the line, 106 centimetres. Another piece of profiling. And I'm going to push it against there. And likewise, I'm going to measure to the sparko line. And that is the middle. It's about 6 1/4, 6 1/2, call it 6 1/2. Right, next up, the transducers, the base shakers. I'm taking them off here. I don't think these cheap ones, while they've been good, they're not going to suffice through a motion rig. That's going to do more on its own without these. I might repurpose these for the pedals, put them down that end. Forget using the Fanatec built-in motors, turn them off and use these. I'm not going to worry about that tonight, I've got enough to do, but I think that's what I'll probably end up doing. But for now, they've got to go, as all of this. Right, several hours later, I've got the rig ready for the next level of motion to go in. It's taken me ages, but I've tidied everything up. It wasn't too bad before, but now it's pretty nice. All the cables really neat and tidy. Right, so I'm opening the next level racing motion platform. I discovered that it's come with that plug and that plug, neither of which are for the UK. Luckily, they're bog standard kettle leads, and I've got a bunch of spares, so I've got away with that, but that's just something to be mindful of. You can see it's pretty damn tidy. Pretty neat. Obviously the two cables here, is a power cable and USB for the motion rig. Right, I have no idea really how this is going to go, and if for certain that I've got everything I need. As I say, this is the bits, supposedly, not those, but a load of brackets and bolts with like these kind of standoff ones. Next level NLM, that's what SimLabs has written on it. Pack specifically enabling the addition of this. You've got like these standoff things, like a huge version of the motherboard standoffs. So this is the thing, the gap is this is too narrow. So I believe using those standoffs will solve that issue. Right, I need to get rid of the mouse pad. Getting this butt kicker mount on, by the way, is a pain. Getting the nuts on behind there and doing them up. Got a little socket on behind there in the end. I don't have a butt kicker, but in time maybe. Definitely do that before you put the seat on. Right, so I'm going to take this back out and I'm going to put that in on all 6 holes. Okay. Okay, so that's all 6 of these on. So the standoff and the bolt onto these brackets. 6 of them. I am concerned about how high it's going to raise it. I haven't actually. I've got a few inches to go before I'm at the top of the uprights, but I've got stuff above my front mount. It's where the wheels are attached. I don't know what I'm going to do, how I'm going to work it. It's also going to interfere with the telly, how the telly's mounted. There could be issues. What would be ideal is obviously if you built a rig around the size of that, that'd be great, but otherwise you could drill through here and bolt directly in and keep it minimum, on the ground or just off it. That would be awesome. That's a shitload high, man. So it's on, and then the height is added. Basically, I can already tell is added on. Height of one of these. That's what the rail seat was on before. Up to there. So 4.5 inches. Right, installing this in the P1, you don't use the side panels that come with it. They would attach where these are. But obviously you have to use rails for the seat. Okay, seat time. Hang on a minute. There's an issue. That gap this here is a lot narrower than it was before. It's almost like the seat won't fit, but obviously it must. It doesn't fit. It's not even close. It's not even close. The seat doesn't fit. Is it because this is the Rev 2? The Rev 1's a narrower seat. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so basically the point between the side mount here and the one on the other side, when attached to the motion platform, was way too narrow for this seat. This seat is the Rev 2, which is larger than I believe standard bucket seats for a fatter frame, to be honest. In the interim I've put a bit of profiling on, which is way too long, but it's all I've got at the moment. Problem is, this is adding another 4 centimetres in height, and as you can see, this is way too high now. It's adding on about 15.5 centimetres in height from what I had, which is just not acceptable because I can't get in, I can't move everything else up that much. So my next step is to really, I'm going to try and drill through the profiling and mount it with longer bolts lower down in there. God knows if I'm going to be able to drill a satisfactory hole with a hand drill, but I really got no choice. Okay, so where are we at now? A day later, the mission continues. You know, when I asked about buying this before I bought it, they said, yeah, it's with that extra bits and bobs, you can just plop it on, you know, and it's fine. But it's way too high, right? If you've got a P1 and you want the next level motion, it's a hassle because you can put it on with just the brackets, but it raised it up about 11 centimeters or so, which is quite a lot because you're running out of room. I mean, obviously, if you had got it all at once and you built it around that, it would be easier. Obviously, I'm trying to do it afterwards, and I've got everything so much in place that would need moving. It's just a logistical nightmare, and it's just uncomfortably high anyway. You know, if I'm sitting in here playing a controller racing game, my feet weren't comfortably on the floor. You know, your whole pedal deck would be moving. I don't even know how I'd move that up that far anyway, to be honest with you. Anyway, so what I've done is I've drilled 6 holes that mount that in the second slot up. If I put that in on the floor, they sit just below, so I've only got to raise it about a centimetre and it's in them. The difficult thing is obviously measuring it correctly because it's in the grooves, you know, and I've used a hole punch, a centre punch, sorry, to mark it as best I can, and yeah, you know, now's the moment of truth really. I'm going to try dropping it in, see if it fits. Got long enough bolts, washers and stuff. I've ordered some nice round bolts to arrive that I'll swap over at some point, but that'll be easy enough. So yeah, 8mm holes through, and hopefully that'll be it. It'll still raise it a little bit, and I also had, I can't remember if I showed it or not, because my seat was too wide for the next level racing platform. Temporarily I just put the side mounts on profiling, like that, which isn't ideal and I won't be using, you know, obviously they're too long anyway, but it adds another 4 centimetres, and height is everything, you know. I was nearly up to 15, 16 centimetres added height. What I'm doing now is just, while I was buying bits and bobs, I bought 2 of these heavy duty steel rules, just over a couple of mil thick, and I'm going to lob them off, put them across the motion platform and seat will bolt onto that. I mean, there's only a tiny bit of overhang on each end, should be plenty strong enough. If it's not, I'll revert to using a board of wood, but to be fair, it would have been easy anyway. So, right, next step is trying to drop it in. I'm glad I haven't got the black P1 because my god, it would be messed up now, all the black coating would be off. And dropping this in now, you're going to be cringing because you've got to just scrape it getting in, the fit is so tight. I don't really care, it's silver on silver and it'll be hidden anyway, but right. Let's put it in from the back. Yeah. Right, that's basically it. Okay, it's in. It did take a few goes of putting it in and out. I did have to elongate the holes, but as you can see, it even looks pretty neat, even with these bolts that I've used here. Obviously the same the other side. Pillar missing here, obviously that was in the way, I'll put that back. But yeah, solid as the proverbial rock. So basically what I did was I put the seat on in the crude way I had it that was too high, just to see exactly where I needed the holes. So I got how far I wanted this hole, and then what I did was centre punch it with that. You know, you press down and it clicks, punches it. Then a little bit of drilling with this. I didn't go all the way through, it was literally just to make a dip for the bigger drill bit. Because it's aluminium and I bought a nice drill bit, it goes through quite easy, don't need a pilot hole. And then just all the way through with that. And as I say, I did have to elongate, you know, going in at an angle several times. But it seems to have done the job and it's in. I did check before I carried on doing that I hadn't put it too far forward. I just loaded up Aeroflow FS2, got in a jet and aimed it straight down at the ground. So I assume that's as far forward as it goes. It gets nowhere near in how it pivots. It doesn't really go forward, so that's not an issue. So yeah, on to the next step. These are this is a piece of that square I've cut. I stupidly should have cut at this end, instead I've had to cut off the right angle bit and the other bit. Stupid, but anyway, I rushed into it. So that's like 44 centimetres long. That's as long as I need to go from side mount to side mount. And these are going to go obviously one here and one there. So in fact, the only over bit hanging was here. I could have done a couple of little brackets just each end, but I wanted the entire strength of the whole thing. Why not? You know, there's only a tiny bit on the end, and this is thick, and it's steel. It's not an aluminium piece. So now I've got to drill the holes for here, and obviously for the side mount. Now these ones are 35.5mm wide, so I'll get them equal distance from the end. I'm going to tidy up. Obviously, my Dremel is charging, but I'll put the bit on that to tidy up the end, make that smooth. But yeah, that's the next step. Okay, so here we are. Yeah, it took a bit more drilling, elongating holes a little bit again, but you know, you basically expect that. But it's on, all looks square. You know, whether it's going to be strong enough, whether these tiny little end bits will end up bending out, I don't know. If that does happen, I'll take the seat off and yeah, I'll just put a square bit of wood down, which to be fair would have been easier, quicker and cheaper. And I was just worrying about adding on a tiny bit of height, you know, I mean, trying to keep that minimal. But really, yeah, in hindsight, that's what I would have done. Right, I've taken the butt kicker mount off because it's down here with the butt kicker extended. I think when it tilts up, the butt kicker would probably hit that. I'm not getting a butt kicker anytime soon, and I'd probably get other transducers, you know, and have one on each side sort of thing, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, so it's wired up. It's all tightened up. All that's left to do is put the seat on. Okay. There we go. Seat on, I can't remember if that's the angle I like it at. So, I'll tell you what height I've added. And this is obviously what I want to raise the wheel deck by. Maybe not the pedals. In fact, I tell you what. Hey, the way I've done it, obviously before the rails were sat on pieces of this, and the way I've done it, piece across the whole lot, well, it's actually lowered. It's lowered by maybe a millimetre or so. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, so finally, all done, sat in it, ready to go. I haven't tested anything since I rewired it, since I rerouted the cables, reconnected everything. Everything's a lot neater. I mean, it wasn't bad anyway, but now it's all really neat. It's all running sort of the same way. The cables are pretty much all hidden. So I've tested nothing. Well, I know the motion seat works because I turned it on, turned Aerofly FS2 on. It pretty much just worked straight away. And I checked it on all axis. There was enough clearance. And it seemed to be, you know, in use. We'll find out. But so yeah, hopefully everything works. All my controls and everything will work. Everything's connected. So let's bring up the desktop thing for it, which is this. I guess we just go into a sim. Jesus. It's a bit violent. It's a bit violent. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, the last thing you want to do is crash. I mean, it's already clearly awesome. Christ almighty. Jesus. Right. Let's turn it down. So I mean, I believe you can just do it on the fly. How do I do that? Project cars, overall intensity. So I guess that's the only one. If I just do that. Let's try on half. That's better. The change of gears is quite violent. I think the road feel is excessive. Getting thrown about just all of a sudden going along the road. This probably isn't the best track. Giving it a go on, but Jesus Christ. See, I'm getting thrown about here. I'm not quite sure why. That's a bit violent. Rather violent. So, I don't know what they all are. Bumps, sway, surge, heave, weight transfer, bias, bumps intensity. I mean, I'm going to reduce that a little bit. I mean, everything I've seen about this, the best thing is to go low. I mean, I imagine it'll be really low when I'm finished, but bumps intensity. As they just seem crazy. I like round numbers. I don't know why, it doesn't matter, but oh, there's motion processing. Oh, Jesus. There's a bit of research to be done. Keep these up. I want to hear just how loud it is. Not very, it's like a sh 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 sound. Right, how much that transfers, oh my god, to the floor and whatnot, I don't know. You know, I'm on 18mm thick MDF coated in vinyl on 3 layers of foam. all in an effort to not piss neighbours off downstairs. I happened to see through their door the other day, and I don't believe there's a bedroom below, so shouldn't matter too much. I mean, that was surely overly violent, that bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm getting chucked about here. Should I be there? Don't know. Basically, it works. It already seems awesome. Got a lot of setting up to do. Read what does what. Probably copy a few people's profiles, but you know, it's already awesome. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm constrained by time, or I'll just keep going. I've got to go out, so anyway, I don't know how I'm going to piece this all together. I'm filming like last for ages. It's going to be a bit of an edit job, just something that's half watchable. But I hope if you've got a P1 and you're considering the next level racing Motion V3, this will help you make a decision. Really, you do want to do the drilling and drop it in. The rest of the faff I did because my seat's too wide. Most people probably won't have that problem. You know, this is a bigger seat. So yeah, I could do it a lot quicker. You could streamline the whole thing. Now you know what needs doing. You could do it a lot quicker, to be honest with you. Yeah. So I hope it helps. Maybe it's been useful, informative. I can't wait to get cracking, setting it up and giving it a real go. And I'll probably update when I found things that work perfectly. Alright, cheers.